It's midnight and you are tuning into Nightline with me, Zahir, Kelvin, Abdullah. News making the headlines. Malaysia to enhance collaboration with Russia. And MACC raids government YTL offices in one Bestarinet false claims probe. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim agree that there is enormous potential for further collaboration between Russia and Malaysia. Anwar said Putrajaya is happy to continue working closely with Moscow to advance their relationship. Putin and Anwar came to this agreement in their bilateral meeting on the sidelines of the 9th Eastern Economic Forum, EEF 2024, held in Vladivostok, Russia's largest port city in the Far East region. Anwar praised the growing partnership between the two countries across various domains and expressed Malaysia's strong desire to enhance their collaboration further.
We have decided to enhance in all fields with you, and I would certainly look forward to having better relations, personal and governmental collaboration in all fields.
During the meeting, Anwar also assured Putin that as ASEAN chairman next year, he will strive to boost the regional grouping's collaboration with Russia in all fields, adding that ASEAN countries are looking forward to Russia's participation in the 2025 ASEAN summit. The Prime Minister is on a two-day working visit to Russia in conjunction with EEF 2024. Earlier, he met with Rushan Hazrat Abbasov, First Deputy Chairman of the Russia Muftis Council and Religious Board of Muslims, a few hours after arriving. On Thursday, Anwar is scheduled to deliver a keynote speech at the forum's plenary session in the afternoon. In 2023, Russia was Malaysia's 8th largest trading partner among European countries, with total bilateral trade increasing 15.6% to 14.22 billion ringgit from 12.3 billion ringgit recorded in 2022. Ahead of Bank Negara giving an update on its monetary policy settings on Thursday, economists expect the central bank to keep the overnight policy rate unchanged at 3.0%. They also expect Bank Negara to leave rates on hold through to 2025. All eyes are on the outcome of Bank Negara's monetary policy meeting on Thursday. Now, will the central bank's monetary policy committee raise the overnight policy rate? Two economists Nightline spoke to said they expect no change to the overnight policy rate, steady at 3.0%. To economists Dr. Jeffrey Williams, the inflation is currently in the normal range. The economy is growing and Bank Negara has met two of its three targets of price stability and sustainable economic growth. He added that the financial market and the country's economy is witnessing a robust growth.
The outlook for interest rates tomorrow is actually quite good. Inflation is at normal historical levels. The economy is growing and the financial market is very stable. The ringgit has strengthened recently. And all of that indicates that the overall macroeconomic environment is in very good shape. The strengthening of the ringgit does have an effect of increasing import prices, but that should be quite modest. And so we don't see that there's any particular concern for inflation from that perspective either. Overall, then, we think that the economy is in pretty good shape, that Bank Negara is doing a great job. And we don't see any particular reason for interest rates either to rise or to be cut. In fact, we expect interest rates to remain at 3% tomorrow and into the next year.
Malaysia's robust outlook and domestic drivers of growth, particularly private consumption as well as investments, provide strong underlying support for the economy. Moreover, exports recovery is also expected to gain momentum towards the later part of the year. While the central bank seeks to strike the right balance between inflation and economic growth, there could be concerns about the timing of further fuel subsidy rationalisation. Bank Muamalat's chief economist Muhammad Afzal Nizam Abdul Rashid said Bank Negara's decision would be primarily driven by domestic factors.
There are still concerns over the prospect of high inflation going forward, especially taking into considerations about the potential changes in the fuel subsidies, especially on RON 95. And therefore, it is important to keep monetary policy stand, remain guarded, especially when the upside risks to inflation are still pointing to the upside. And there's also a situation whereby we have witnessed the economic growth has been growing at a robust rate. That perhaps gives the impressions that the possibility of demand pull inflation to come in is also something we cannot totally rule out. So on that note, it is perhaps best to keep the overnight policy rate at 3% at this current juncture. At least it will provide a balance towards keeping the inflation remain in check, and at the same time providing support to the economic growth going forward.
How does US-based Amazon's 29.2 billion ringgit investment through AWS showcase Malaysia's appeal to global tech giants? How could these elevate Malaysia's position in Southeast Asia's digital economy? What new opportunities will this create for Malaysians? Money Matters with AWS Malaysia Country Manager Peter Murray this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has launched an investigation into payment claims related to the Education Ministry's One Bestari Net service tender valued at 4 billion ringgit, which was awarded to YTL Communications some 13 years ago. The MACC conducted raids at government offices and YTL Communications office on Wednesday in conjunction to the investigation, which is centered on claims involving false details related to 2.7 billion ringgit in payments. According to a source, several documents were seized and the MACC is currently reviewing them to identify potential witnesses for the investigation. The investigation is focused on the submission of claims with false details involving the payment of about 2.7 billion ringgit. Additionally, the MACC is examining other criminal elements under the MACC Act. MACC Investigation Division Senior Director, Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hashim, confirmed that the case is being investigated under Section 18 of the MACC Act. In 2019, the Education Ministry was advised to conduct a holistic assessment of the effectiveness of the second phase of the service project. According to the Auditor General's Report 2018 Series 1, overall, One Bestari Net provided broadband facilities and a teaching and learning environment through the Virtual Learning Environment platform to all schools under the Education Ministry. However, an audit conducted between October 2018 and March 2019 revealed that 3,698 out of 10,185 schools never achieved the KPI for using the system. Additionally, only 0.8% of the 423.566 teachers developed learning sites that were published in the Frog Store in 2018. The Human Resources Minister has directed the Social Security Organisation SOCSO to overhaul its claims system amid an ongoing anti-corruption investigation into fraudulent claims which have cost SOCSO over 2 million ringgit. Stephen Sim Chi Kyong said that since June, SOCSO has ceased accepting claims from a hospital flagged for suspicious submissions following an internal investigation into a cartel involved in these activities. At a media conference on Wednesday, Sim said the cartel's fraudulent claims primarily involve permanent disability cases. The minister said that following internal investigation, SOCSO proactively reported the matter to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC and has been fully cooperating with them since July 2nd under Ops Tunjang to dismantle the cartel.
We took the initiative to uncover this. Isu ini bukan dibongkarkan oleh pihak ketiga. Isu ini didedahkan, dibongkarkan melalui siasatan dalaman Perkeso sendiri. Melalui unit bahagian anti-fraud, etika dan integriti Perkeso. So, selepas siasatan dalaman, kita telah membongkarkan isu ini, baru kita lapor kepada SPRM dan kemudian semalam, isu penahanan SPRM semalam melalui Ops Tunjang ini adalah satu operasi yang dilaksanakan kerjasama antara Perkeso dan SPRM. Perkeso ataupun Kesuma, kita ingin menegaskan bahawa there is no compromise when it comes to good governance.
Sim said that while his ministry will not compromise on their service to eligible contributors, it must also close any gaps that could allow cartels and syndicates to commit fraud. He said that new standard operating procedures for the claims system will be introduced soon. While SOCSO has suspended claims from the hospital under investigation, contributors can still submit claims through referrals from other hospitals. Meanwhile, the MACC has identified another doctor suspected of being involved in the false claims cartel related to SOCSO. Its Chief Commissioner, Tan Sri Azambaki, said an arrest will be made soon. In an interview with media in Putrajaya, he explained that the individual is the fourth doctor suspected to be involved in the case after 3 other doctors were detained on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry said it is ready to give its full cooperation with the MACC regarding the arrests. In a statement, the ministry firmly stated that it will not tolerate any element of abuse of power by its employees. The ministry also emphasized that it will not hesitate to take appropriate action to ensure that public health services remain at the highest standard. In the meantime, in Pula Pinang, 33 people, including 3 senior doctors and a woman, were remanded over their alleged links to the cartel accused of falsifying SOCSO disability claims. All suspects have been remanded between 1 to 3 days to assist investigations. Earlier, the suspects clad in orange MACC attire arrived at the Georgetown Magistrates Court at 8:59 a.m. in 5 MACC vehicles. The group included the 3 doctors, 19 SOCSO contributors, 8 agents and 3 runners, all aged between 26 and 60. Magistrate Nadratun Naim Muhammad Saidi ordered the doctors to be remanded for 2 days, while the woman is to be held for 1 day starting Wednesday. The remaining suspects will be remanded for 3 days. They are being investigated under Section 18 of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Act. It was earlier reported that 3 senior doctors in the state were among 32 people arrested in a major swoop by the MACC over a SOCSO disability fraud. It is understood that the suspects were detained during an operation on Tuesday after giving their statements at the Pula Pinang MACC office. The alleged fraudulent claims involved an estimated 2.1 million ringgit. Baby trafficking ring dismantled in Indonesia. This and more from the foreign front when we return.
Wanita hari ini. Menipu untuk kebaikan, logik ke?
Tapi nak tipu sampai bila?
Olimput DWHI, saya wakil negeri Selangor.
Kalau awak kalah, awak jadi siput sedut masak lama.
Bencana boleh berlaku pada bila-bila masa saja.
Waspada tentang cuaca dan cakna tentang keselamatan diri.
Tak ada tabung kecemasan.
Macam mana nak simpan duit pun tak ada.
Hubungan ipar 2 ada batasnya.
Ipar terpaling Jumaat ini.
Semuanya di WHI TV3
dan stream di tonton.
Kepribadian dan ketampanannya mampu memikat banyak hati.
Sebenarnya saya ada hadiah untuk Ustaz kalau Ustaz sudah terimalah.
Jazakallah khair.
Tapi di mata kasih, Syed Jazlan bukan lelaki pujaannya.
Acah alim, acah suci.
Macam tak beradab orang rasa. Kalau nak tanya, fikirlah dulu.
Lelaki Melayu terakhir. TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. Indonesian police have dismantled a baby trafficking ring in Depok, West Java, making 8 arrests in a case that saw newborns being bought from parents via Facebook before being resold in Bali for a higher price. According to the Depok police chief, on Tuesday, the syndicate's dealings were uncovered after police officers acted on a public tip-off. It was reported that the syndicate secured the babies through the social media platform, seeking out parents who wanted to sell their newborns. Police investigations then revealed the scheme where babies were advertised with prices ranging from $645 to $968 each. The traffickers then transported the babies to Bali, where they were resold for as much as $2,900. So far, 8 people aged between 22 and 41 have been arrested. They face charges related to human trafficking and violations of child protection laws. Thailand's King Maha Vajiralongkorn has endorsed Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatра's new cabinet on Wednesday, with key ministers retaining their posts as the government looks to boost the economy and tackle a range of other challenges. According to the official Royal Gazette, the King appointed 35 cabinet ministers as selected by Paetongtarn, including 6 deputy prime ministers and other ministers. Pichai Chun Havajira retains his post as finance minister and Mary Sangyam Pongsa as foreign minister, while Puntam Wachayachai is named defense minister and has been replaced as commerce minister by Pichai Nariptapan. Core partners in the Phu Thai-led coalition include the Boom Jai Thai Party and Ram Thai Sangchat Party, command the remaining 19 portfolios. The new cabinet is scheduled to take an oath of allegiance before the king on Friday. Earlier, Paetongtarn said that the new cabinet should continue the unfinished initiatives from Srita's administration, including her party's flagship policy, the digital wallet cash handout scheme, which will move forward with some adjustments. At least 81 people were killed after suspected fighters from the Boko Haram hardline group attacked a village in northeastern Nigeria. According to authorities, around 150 suspected Boko Haram terrorists armed with rifles and RPGs attacked Mafa ward on more than 50 motorcycles on Sunday at 4 p.m. local time. Authorities said the attack was an apparent retaliation for the killing of 2 suspected Boko Haram fighters by local vigilantes. Officials said efforts were now continuing to confirm the number of people killed, with the death toll now estimated at more than 100 people. A public inquiry into the devastating 2017 London Grenfell Tower fire on Wednesday blamed incompetency, dishonesty and greed into the deaths of the 72 avoidable deaths in the fire. The long-awaited final report found that decades of failure by UK government's indifference to safety by authorities, dishonest and incompetent manufacturers and installers of building materials, and a lack of strategy by firefighters were the main contributors to the shocking death toll. The chair of the inquiry, Sir Martin Moore-Bick, found that the 3 firms, Arconic, Kingspan and Silotex, had engaged in deliberate and sustained strategies to mislead the market. He also found the architects Studio E, the builders Rydon and Harley Facades, and the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea's Building Control Department all bore responsibility for the blaze. The 1,700-page inquiry also found that the government was well aware of the risks posed by highly flammable cladding but failed to act on what it knew. The final report of the Grenfell Tower public inquiry comes 7 years, 2 months and 21 days after the fire. The Crown Prosecution Service is yet to make any charging decisions, and any trials are not expected to start until 2027. Safawi Rashid fires Hara Malaya to Meda Tournament final. Sports when we come back.
Topik menarik di ABHI.
Kejadian tanah jelus di Kuala Lumpur, masyarakat perlu cakna tentang risiko.
Kencing tikus di Taman Irigasi Air jangan ambil mudah sebab ia boleh membawa maut.
Fetri, dalam media sosial sekarang ini tengah tular sifat sudut. Apa khasiat dan kelebihan?
Jom kita imbas gemilang dan nostalgia di Stadium Merdeka yang penuh bermakna.
Dan perdagangan mata wang kripto dalam soal wang.
ABHI setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat jam 9.30 pagi.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Diving deep into the business world.
With expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
We're back with sports football, the 2024 Meda Tournament. Substitute Mohammad Safawi Rashid scored the winning goal to steer the national team, Hara Malaya, to the final as they defeated the Philippines 2-1 on Wednesday night. Despite Malaysia dominating the game, the Askals took the lead at the National Stadium Bukit Jalil in the 27th minute through centre-back Jefferson Tabinas. Hara Malaya then fought back and drew level just before the break when Muhammad Shamir Kuti Abba fired in a brilliant shot from outside the box. The national team continued to press hard in the second half and substitute Safawi scored the winner in the 73rd minute from the spot, sealing the 2-1 win for Hara Malaya. With the win, Pau Mati Vicente's men will face Lebanon in the final for the trophy. Earlier, Lebanon secured their place in the final by edging out Tajikistan 1-0 in the tense first match encounter. Midfielder Jihad Khalid Ayub was the hero, scoring the decisive goal in the 13th minute, sealing victory for the world number 113, Lebanon. The win was particularly sweet for the setters, who were denied a spot in the knockout stage of the AFC Asian Cup in January by Tajikistan after a 1-2 defeat in their group match. The 2024 Paris Paralympics now. National shot putter Mohammad Zad Zulkefli finally put his 2020 Tokyo heartbreak behind him, storming back onto the podium with a sensational silver on Tuesday. The 34-year-old athlete, who was left devastated after being controversially disqualified in Tokyo, where he was the defending champion, proved his doubters wrong by winning a silver medal in the F20 category. Ziyad recorded an impressive 17.18 meters just behind Ukraine's Oleksandr Yarovi, who clinched gold with a world record throw of 17.61 meters, while defending champion Maxim Koval settled for bronze. Previously, Ziyad took bronze in London in 2012 before stepping up to claim gold in Rio de Janeiro 4 years later. Moving on to tennis now, the 2024 US Open. Frances Tiafoe and Taylor Fritz set up an All-American semi-final with victories Tuesday, guaranteeing the host country a men's finalist in its Grand Slam tournament for the first time since 2006. The 20th seeded Tiafoe made it to the Final Four at Flushing Meadows for the second time in 3 years when his quarterfinal opponent, Grigor Dimitrov, stopped playing because of an injury in the fourth set. Tiafoe was leading 6-3, 7-6, 6-3, 4-1 when Dimitrov retired from the match. The 12th seed Fritz earlier edged 4th seed Alexander Zverev in an intense baseline battle to reach his maiden Grand Slam semi-final after making the quarters at both the Australian Open and Wimbledon this year. Although Fritz and Zverev were equally matched for much of their 3-hour, 26-minute encounter, the Americans' greater consistency, particularly under pressure in the two tie-breaks, helped him to a 7-6, 3-6, 6-4, 7-6 victory. In the women's category, Arina Sabalenka set up a semi-final clash with Emma Navarro after she outplayed Zhang Qinwen of China in their last 8 clash. The world number 2 proved to be at her best as she secured a 6-1, 6-2 victory to seal a spot in the semi-finals for the 4th year in a row. Navarro, on the other hand, was forced to work the extra mile before claiming a win over Paula Badosa. Their home favourite clinch a 6-2, 7-5 win, a result that guarantees the 23-year-old a top 10 debut next week. ringgit 97 million goods seized in raids on illegal e-waste facilities. The details after this short break.
Apa yang Fira nampak, Haikal ada tanda-tanda autism.
Dalam setiap anugerah istimewa yang Tuhan bagi ni, anak-anak ni ada keistimewaan dia orang sendiri.
Baik ke, buruk ke, sempurna ataupun tidak.
Ancaman Syurga mulai 5 September, Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam. Terbaru di Akasia TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton. Zahirnya, beliau adalah isteri dan ibu yang sempurna.
Dia lebih tua lah daripada anak kita, Hussein.
Kehadiran menantu barunya tersembunyi topeng kepuraan.
Saya sayang anak ini. Saya tak pernah ada niat jahat langsung atas anak ini.
Kita akan dapat jadi isteri yang baik.
Itu jodohnya. Nak buat macam mana?
Okey sayang, I love you. Okey sayang, jangan curiga.
Mentua, Khamis hingga Sabtu 9 malam di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Police have dismantled an illegal electronic waste processing syndicate operating in Kampong Teluk Gong, Port Klang, after it carried out raids on the illegal factories and seized 97 million ringgit worth of goods. The operation was led by the Internal Security and Public Order Department, KDNKA, in collaboration with the Wildlife Crime Bureau, Special Investigations Intelligence, Environmental Department and the Royal Klang City Council. KDNKA's acting director Yusuf Mamat said the raid targeted 7 premises involved in processing metals, plastics and electronic waste.
Telah menemui bahan-bahan elektrik kita semula yang dikategorikan sebagai e-waste sedang diproses untuk mendapatkan logam-logam berharga seperti tembaga, emas, timah, besi dan lain peralatan.
5 Malaysians believed to be the masterminds behind the illegal operations were detained along with 31 foreign workers aged between 25 and 60. The foreign nationals are believed to have imported technology and chemicals for illegal e-waste processing activities which involve extracting valuable metals such as copper, iron and tin. The unlicensed factories were found to be employing foreign workers and generating millions of ringgit in profits, while the operators had no valid documents for their activities. Following which, the Environmental Department and the Royal Klang City Council has issued closure notices and confiscated the equipment under the Environmental Quality Act and the Local Government Act. All those arrested were taken to the Klang Selatan Police Headquarters for further action. In another development, the Johor Department of Environment, DOE, has detected elevated concentrations of ammonia gas during air quality monitoring conducted at Sungai Pandan in Johor Bahru. The monitoring was carried out at Kampung Melayu Pandan at about 4 p.m. on Tuesday. State DOE Senior Deputy Director Muhammad Rashidan Topa said the readings had, however, returned to normal during further air quality monitoring conducted at 1:10 a.m. on Wednesday. He said ammonia gas is commonly used by industries such as fertilizer factories and ice manufacturing plants. As such, further investigations will be carried out on some 100 factories situated along the river. He added that the investigation would also explore the possibility that lorries from external factories may have been transporting and dumping waste into the river. Mohammad Rashdan noted that the department also detected an oil sheen stretching about 2 kilometers along the surface of Sungai Pandan, which appeared blackish and is suspected to be a chemical substance. In response, the DOE has sent samples of the contaminated soil and river water to the Department of Chemistry Malaysia for analysis. This time around. Let's take a look as hundreds of canoes and barges throng the centuries-old lake village of Ganvi in Benin to celebrate the annual festival of nautical sports, cultures and arts. With that, I'm Zahir with Kelvin Abdullah. Thank you for tuning in and be safe.